I'm going to share. So yay. Well, thanks for jumping on, you guys. And I know there's some of you that can't catch the call at this time, but I wanted to try something new this month, see if it was helpful to have a team call at night and then maybe one during the day. And I know that not everybody's going to be able to catch everyone, but hopefully it'll help you have some things throughout the month to kind of pinpoint down and be encouraged by and work through. So first of all, I just want to mention that today is the Clean Week sneak peek. So I was kind of looking at it a little bit this morning. I haven't done my workout. I was looking at it. I don't know how much of it I'm going to be able to do. It's like it's the core one. So, and so I was kind of watching a few of them and it looks really good. I think I can do some of it, but I would highly encourage you, if you can, to jump on there today, since today's the only day it's on, as of right now, because Clean Week launches the first week of October. And it's a great opportunity to get people in there in a beginning level, to kind of just get a little easy push into fitness. And so I would encourage you to start thinking about running a Clean Week group. We could talk about doing one together, but the preview is today. So it'd be a great way to kind of share about it by doing it yourself and maybe doing a couple of video snippets about it today or something like that of you doing parts of it. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention. And then the next thing is just want to encourage you guys. It's been a tough month for everybody, it sounds like, but don't give up, because what you're doing now is going to build momentum into next month. And I don't know about you, but I'm still making Success Club a non-negotiable. It's going to happen this month because I know that there are 3 people at least that I can help and that need my help. Not necessarily thinking towards Success Club, but thinking about, I know that it's about people and I want to help those people this month. So for me, that means I'm running another group at the beginning of next month. And I didn't really want to do that because like I'm swamped, but I really want to continue to find ways to reach my goals creatively. So if you need help brainstorming that, please reach out to me. I would love to brainstorm with you on how to do that, what you can do, and all that stuff. And I think that this call could probably not come at a better time for some of us, because I think that when we get into moments like this, it's easy to kind of feel like, man, I'm getting burned out, or is this even worth it? Or how am I going to keep doing this? So I wanted to share a little bit today about how to avoid burnout and keep your passion alive in the business. I can tell you that after over 2 years in the business, there are multiple times where I have, really struggled with feeling like I am burned out. Like, I'm like, I don't know how much more I can do. But then I've kind of realized that there are some things that I need to go back to, which I'm going to share with you and make my foundation. And if I don't do those things, then yes, I'm going to get burned out. And the very first thing that I want to share with you, there's actually 9 things I'm going to share with you. And I think they're all very practical. If you're one of the ways that you can avoid burnout, number 1, is to make sure that you are doing personal development. And whether that's plugging into, making sure you plug into some sort of like spiritual personal development, or plugging into and making sure you're plugging into some kind of business personal development. Because what personal development does is when we feel like we're sinking, it keeps our heads afloat. It keeps us thinking positively and thinking forward, and remembering that everybody goes through times like this. Everybody goes through times of burnout, times of I'm just exhausted, or this isn't working the way that I thought. But usually what happens is that there is that, after that push and after that burnout, if you keep working through it, what I have found after over 2 years in the business is that as I dig into personal development, I start to feel more positive, and then things really do start to happen because my perspective changes. So personal development is key to making sure that we avoid burnout, because we're thinking outside of the box, we're thinking outside of our emotions, we're thinking outside of ourselves. So I want to challenge you right now, just wherever you're at, to think about what you are doing for personal development right now. If you're feeling discouraged, I want to encourage you to think about doing maybe something like the compound effect again, reading through it about how those small actions really do make a difference. Another one that I loved, that is actually, it's a faith-based book, but I think it's really good in evaluating your priorities and keeping your head afloat, is called Your Best Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Best Yes.
The Best Yes. Yeah. I can never remember if it's Your Best Yes or The Best Yes, but by Lisa Tierkirst, which I can never say her name either. But she, I read that book last year, and it was in a really down time for me in like trying to figure out the business. And it helped me have perspective so much because I realized that I needed to change things, that I needed to change my mindset on what I was creating in my list of priorities, which we'll get to in just a second. So that's another one that I would highly suggest that you read if you are really struggling with figuring out burnout right at this point. So number 1 is make sure you're doing personal development. Number 2 is make a list of your priorities in life and put them on your fridge or on your bathroom mirror, whatever it may be. Okay, I'm not going to give you a certain number. I just did this in my challenge groups to start my new group yesterday. I had them write out their top 5 priorities, and it was so interesting to see what people were saying. And for me, when I write out those priorities, mine is my faith. Mine next is my family. Next is total body health for me. After that, it's relationships. And then number 5 is the business. And what I have found is that if I am not focusing on those first things that I say are the most important, and I'm putting business above all those other things, then my business doesn't work. So in order to avoid burnout, I want to encourage you to make your list and make sure that you're keeping your priorities in order. And I'm going to give you some tangible ways to do that here in a second. So make a list of your priorities in life and write them on your fridge. Number 3, and this relates to what I just said, make Beachbody, and I wish I would have learned this earlier, make Beachbody a part of your life, not your whole life. Okay, make Beachbody a part of your life and not your whole life. And that'll affect the way you share. And I promise you that it will help you push your business forward if you really think about it that way. Because most of the time when I've seen coaches burn out, it's because they place so much stock in Beachbody and they're forgetting that the reason why we started Beachbody was because it was a part of our lives and just something that we love to share about, a passion, instead of something that was all consuming and it defines who we are, right? So I switched my numbers around. That was number 3, right? Hold on. I switched my numbers around because right before this, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that was number 3. Make Beachbody a part of your life, not your whole life. Number 4, this is a tangible way to make that happen. Keep business hours and write them down. I used to be really good at this. Now being pregnant, I'm really horrible at this because I feel like my body has kind of dictated. Usually I just push through being tired or whatever and just get up in my morning. But keeping business hours and writing them down really is helpful because what it does is helps you have structure and you know when you're going to have a chance to get it done. And that eliminates burnout because you are eliminating stress in your life of, I've got to get this done. I got to do this. And when you keep business hours, this is my time allotted to work this. And then again, just like we talked about with number 3, it's going to make Beachbody a part of your life, not your whole life, because you feel like you're constantly scrambling and thinking about it, if that makes sense. So keep business hours and write them down. That's number 4. Okay, so number 5, and this kind of relates back to number 4. I want to encourage you, if you're struggling with burnout or if you want to avoid it, create a miracle morning routine. Get it out of the way in the morning, even if you're not a morning person. I am not a morning person, believe it or not. But when I started getting up at 4:50 in the morning, I started at 6 and then I started pushing it a little bit earlier. And I started getting up at 4:50 in the morning. And that was when I felt most content in my business, most content in my personal life, because I got up, I got my devotions. I got my devotions done. I started my day off with the right focus. I did an hour in my power hour, and then I did my workout, and I was done for the day. Anything else that fit into Power Pockets was because it was a passion, not a necessity. So I want to encourage you, if you can, to create a miracle morning routine. Not only to create a miracle morning routine by just getting up, but making a plan for when you get up. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? For me, like I said, it was getting up. I drank some Energize, went downstairs, did my devotions, did 10 minutes of personal development in a different book outside of my devotions. Then I went into an hour where I did my power hour, and then I did my 30-minute workout. So for me, that worked great. And then I would, post in my challenge groups right after my workout. That worked great. It's not working so well in this season of life for me. I'm having to work more in Power Pockets, which is okay. But it is more stressful to have to work in Power Pockets, at least for me. So I would encourage you, number 5, create a miracle morning routine if you can. Number 6, And this one's so hard. Number 6, have social media boundaries. My friends, have social media boundaries. And I'm going to give you a couple of ways to do that. So this is number 6, have social media boundaries, but there are several different ways you can do that. Okay. So number 1 under have social media boundaries is don't scroll. Okay. Especially when you're working on your business, don't scroll. Number 2, turn off notifications. So this is something that I recently did, like within the last year in Facebook. You can turn off your message notifications. You can turn off your Facebook notifications so those little red dots don't show up. And that has helped me so much because I'm kind of OCD like that. Like, I'm not that person that lets there be like 2,000 emails like popping up red on my phone. It drives me crazy. So if I see the number on there, then I have to check it. Like, I'm very OCD like that. So what I did was I turned off those notifications. So I don't look at, if I look at my phone, it's because I've chosen to look at my phone. I don't look at it because I've gotten a notification. And that has helped me immensely. And like I said, before I got pregnant, this worked great for me. Now, like I said, it's frustrating because I'm working in these power pockets and then I end up checking all day and I'm frustrated by that and that's my own fault. And that can really lead to burnout because I'm not setting good boundaries. And that's really what this is all about in order to avoid burnout. Is setting good boundaries for yourself. So number 2, turn off your notifications. Number 3, make sure you're intentional about only posting 80% make sure you're intentional about posting 80% about your personal life and only 20% about the business. Okay. That'll avoid burnout for you and burnout for the people that are following you too, right? Number 4, plan your posts during your power hour. Okay, make that a part of what you do every day during your power hour. Even if it takes you 5 to 10 extra minutes, it's going to save so much stress in your day because no one needs to know that your sweaty pic that you posted about your workout was from yesterday. Okay, they don't need to know that. They don't have to know that. If you're doing your workout every day, it doesn't matter what pic you post. It's about the content that you post about. So create your post ahead of time. Make it, post it, and do that during your power hour and save yourself. Make that a part of what you do during your power hour, because otherwise, like, I don't know about you, but then I scramble to make these posts because I'm like, well, I need to do something. What can I do? How can I be creative? But making that a part of your power hour is just going to make it a part of what you do during your business time. And it's going to help. So plan your posts during your power hour. Number 5, pretty self-explanatory, but set times that you will and you won't be on social media. Okay. Just set those times. And I know if you're anything like me, lots of times I get to the end of the night, I'm sitting on the couch and maybe the TV's on or something. And, I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling, right? And I have to be really careful that I don't let that be a business time for me, unless I choose for it to be, because it's easy, because I love what I do. I love Beachbody. I love you guys. I love my challengers. But I have to make sure that if I'm scrolling, it's because I want to be mindless and scrolling and responding to people that I want to catch up on their lives, not being purposeful necessarily about business, if that makes sense. So just make sure you set good boundaries for yourself with social media, with those 5 things. All right. Number 7. Okay. So this is another way you can avoid burnout, is to always be thinking about value over anything else. Say that again. Always be thinking about value over anything else. Okay. You're going to feel so much more fulfilled if you offer information of value to people instead of just throwing stuff up there. Right. So, ask yourself before you post, or when you're creating those posts during your power hour, does this offer value to others and to me? Okay, not just to others, but to you too. Does it offer value? Does it speak into your life? Because if you're speaking out of your life and your experience, then it's really going to speak to other people too. So number 7, always be thinking about value over anything. And that's going to help you avoid that burnout because you're speaking out of passion and out of hope in your own heart, not just out of, I got to throw something up there. Number 8, focus on people, not points, right? We talk about this a lot. Focus on people, not points. Because if you're focusing on people, then you're not going to get burned out because we all love people, right? Focus on helping them get to their goals. What can you do? How can you help them? How can you offer value to help other people get to those goals? Focus on people, not points. Doesn't mean the points aren't important to us, because I know that we all have to have some sort of a benchmark that helps us push towards our goals. But really, if you make people at the focal point of what you do, then you are going to avoid burnout, because you're going to be really operating out of your passion. Keep saying that, operating out of your passion and out of why you love what you do, not out of I have to get there because I have to get to the points. Which, like I said, it's not that it's not important, but keep people at the focal point. And then number 9, the last thing for me, this is personal for me, and I want to encourage you that if this is something that helps you, to do it too. But number 9, in order to avoid burnout, pray about it. Make it a part of your daily to-do. If you're not a prayer, I want to encourage you to just take moments and be still and just breathe and, be calm and focus on all the right things. But for me, the power of prayer, focusing and asking God to help me, has helped me stay in this business and keeping my priorities in order. So those are my 9 ways to avoid burnout and to keep the passion alive, because if you can tell, it all really relates back to boundaries, having boundaries. And I think most of the time when we're burnt out, it's because we haven't created good boundaries for ourselves. And that's in every area of life, but especially in this business, because we all started it because we had a passion for it, and we don't want it to end because we lose the passion because we're burnt out. We want to continue the passion by having good boundaries to keep us going and fueling that fire. So, yeah. Oh, Jessica, she's on her phone. You're welcome. She said thanks. So does anybody have any questions or anything to add to that, or anything you found to be true?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh. When you're talking about making your posts during your power hour, like, do you make them and save them? Can you do that on, how do you do that?
For me, what I do is lots of times I'll create the picture and, just keep that in my phone. And then I'll kind of keep a running Word document or something on my phone that I can just copy and paste over when I'm ready to do that. So that's what I found to be easiest for me. And I love it because then it makes it so easy. And, lots of times I've created it and then later in the day, I'm like, oh, maybe I could add this or change this. You know what I mean? So it gives me some time to sit on it, which is always helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else anybody can think of? No? I hope this helps a little bit. Did I record it? Yes, I did. Okay. And yeah, Jessica says Instagram lets you save drafts to post later. And Facebook has scheduling. Facebook does, it's scheduling for your groups for sure. Yeah, but I don't believe they have anything. Facebook, you can save your drafts too, but they don't have anything like scheduling for your personal posts yet, I don't think. But in groups, you can definitely schedule, which I have utilized a lot. I love that they added that feature on there. It's so helpful to be able to have that. So, oh yeah, no, don't be sorry. No, it was great. I'm glad you said that. So it's a good point. So yeah. All right. Well, like I said, please feel free to reach out if you're struggling this month and need to brainstorm about how to get to those goals. I'm rooting for you guys and praying for you guys, and I'm thankful to be on this mission with y'all. So hope you guys have a good Tuesday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.